Hello, welcome to the Loney Show. I'm your host, John Maloney, and in this episode, I've brought on regulars Rmeister and Faiffy. Faiffy will join momentarily once she gets techie stuff out the way. As for our guest, she is a professional singer-songwriter. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Lady Redneck.
Hi, good to be here today.
Great. So, how's life?
Life is fabulous. How's life for you?
Life is great. Just chilling, getting stuff ready for next year. And yeah, it's fabulous.
I'm on spring break.
Yahoo!
Awesome. That sounds nice.
Faiffy has just arrived.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I need to get something.
Hello, Faiffy.
Okay.
You made it just in
Sorry
time.
about that.
That's cool, it's cool. You made it just in time. I brought on Lady...
I'm 7 minutes late and it's driving me off the wall because I had to deal with laundry and it was bothering the hell out of me.
Yeah, it happens. So, Lady, whereabouts are you from?
I actually grew up in Idaho, but I live in North Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Back.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I'm here in North Dallas, in Texas, the greatest state in the United States.
Great.
South Carolina.
What was that?
I said South Carolina.
Oh.
That's a pretty good one, too. I like it there. It's a good place.
So, what was life for you growing up?
So I grew up in Idaho, and I grew up in a little, super small town, population 23, on a dairy farm, and so it was, a lot of time with, riding horses and just working on the farm and just being around family, because nobody else really lives out there, so it was a really different way to grow up.
Great. So,
Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah. So, what inspired you to become an artist?
So my family, my parents both were always in bands, and I started learning music when I was 6. I learned the guitar and the piano, and then when I was in 4th grade, I started the violin and just picked up other instruments along the way. But we grew up playing in a family band and traveling all over the Northwest, and so it's just kind of what we always did. So it's just part of who I am.
Okay.
Sorry.
Great. So, do you travel often?
I go through phases where I'll do a lot of traveling and then where I don't do as much. So kind of, yeah, I guess I have traveled often.
Okay, great. So, what songs have you released as an artist?
Oh gosh, I've released a ton. I've actually released 6 albums already, or they're all on Spotify and Deezer and everywhere. So, and I release usually them almost one at a time as a single. So I have releases almost every month.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So if your life was a meal, what would it look like?
Oh no.
But
Oh, Faiffy
Was-
knows.
If my life was a meal, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if your life was a meal, what'd it look like?
Probably a taco.
Okay. And do you like Mexican food?
Yeah, I do. I actually really do. And it's funny because I actually eat really healthy, but I do, I would think that my life would be more like a taco just because I kind of got a mix of, I'm kind of cheesy and I got a lot of, can be serious and, it's kind of like my life. I got a lot going on, so, a huge mixture of things that I'm doing and involved in. But it kind of all comes together in a nice little package, I think. So hopefully, I don't know. I've never been asked that question.
That's
What
fine.
do you say to that?
That's cool. All right, so have you seen anything interesting lately, like a movie or a television show?
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, I love going to the movies. Let's see, what did I just see last? There was one that I saw a couple months ago, American Underdog, I think it was. It had the guy from Chuck on it, and he was like a football player. I thought that was pretty good. I think, yeah,
Okay.
that was pretty good. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food, My favorite food is sushi. I actually eat a lot of like spinach and kale and stuff like that, but then I love fish. So I eat a ton of fish. But if I'm going out, like, and I probably would prefer to get sushi, just kind of like it. So.
Okay, great.
We're asking some crazy, amazing questions. Usually it's all about like the music and everything else. I'm like, wow, people are going to actually get to know me. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. So, have you met any interesting people throughout your life?
Have I met any interesting people? Tons of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot of like business people, other entertainers. What are you looking for exactly?
No, any kind of interesting people, really. It could be anyone.
Well, this is probably not what you're looking for, but when I lived in the Philippines, like my life and my perspective of my world kind of changed. As a people, this just popped in my head. Sorry, it's kind of random. Instead of an interesting person, I think I'm just going to talk about them as an interesting people. They, one thing that really stood out to me with them was the fact that they didn't have anything. They lived day to day, and they'd walk around singing, and they were totally happy. And I remember just thinking, gosh, we're so crazy spoiled in the United States. We have like everything, and everybody's on. Half the people I know are on like antidepressants, and they have like thousands more things than everybody else in the Philippines, and I don't know. So it kind of changed my perspective of my whole life, just seeing how happy people were without having anything at all.
Okay, that's nice. So, what was life for you growing up in Idaho, or wherever you lived?
It was a great place to grow up. It was very, I felt like, especially since I lived in like I said, population 23, small town until I was in junior high. So I was so sheltered. Like I didn't see or hear anything. Like it was all very religious, very, just very, very sheltered. And then when I moved to the big city of Idaho Falls, which was like population 70,000, it was like so different for me. But it was a great place to grow up. I grew up like with a very financially, my parents didn't have anything, so we grew up working, and it was really good for me because I learned the value of work, and I learned to figure out what I like to do, and grew up playing music. Like our family's super close, so I know a lot of people don't have that. So even though we didn't have like the financial stuff, we had like a lot of love and great memories, and got to spend a lot of time together. So probably like some old TV show where you watch like a family show. That's kind of like what my life was probably like. So they probably don't do that very much anymore.
No, that's actually a really good answer. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, what's the best way to start the morning?
I like to get up early, and I like to work out, drink my protein shake, and then I like to meditate and kind of like visualize where I want to be and what I want to see happen and what is going to happen. And I just like my quiet time in the morning. I just like to get up and get all my little things done like that. And then I feel like I'm ready to take on the day. I like to see like the sunrise and just kind of feel peace, like read my scriptures and kind of just connect with God and connect with myself a little bit, because life gets so crazy. And if I don't do that, I feel like I'm just running and playing catch up all day. And I don't like that feeling.
Okay, cool. How did you spend your last birthday?
What is with these questions?
My last birthday. Okay, let me think. My last birthday. Oh, how did I spend it? I think it was just literally here at the house, and like I'm sure my husband took me out to eat, and probably just he really spoils me, so we probably just did something fun. I don't know. I can't really remember anything like super memorable about it, so I don't know.
Okay, cool. What do you like about being a music artist?
I like everything about it. I love being able to just be creative and be able to express how I feel through music and be able to like write whatever the heck I'm thinking. I love being able to connect with fans. I love being able to have them be part of what I'm doing, and just be able to, I love that I can do something that I love, because I love music and I love creating. And so to me, it's super awesome to be able to just do what I love. So I pretty much love everything about it.
Okay, great. Have you performed in any live concerts recently?
Recently I haven't done like a lot of big concerts. I did a big one last June. Like I'll do some little shows and stuff, and I'm getting ready hopefully to go on tour this summer. You know, I did House of Blues show, and then I did a big concert in East Texas. I had a couple ladies opening for me, and it went really well. It was super cool. But besides that, I've just done smaller shows, and then getting ready to hit the road again in the summer. So
Great. Fabulous.
yeah.
What is your pet peeve?
My pet peeve. Oh gosh. Let's see. What is my pet peeve? I'm pretty easy going along. I like things like really clean, and so I'm kind of a little bit crazy that way. So I guess maybe just like when somebody like.
So basically, like Sheldon or from Big Bang Theory or Monica from Friends.
No,
Someone leaves.
say that again. What'd you say?
So basically, you're like Monica from Friends or Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of Monica in me. Yeah, that's probably that's a good way to put it. Yes, and I can't even help it. Like, I try not to be, and I am not like a nagging person or whatever, so I just quietly like clean up as people like, like make messes, because I don't like, I like everything just organized and put away, and then I can't like even create or like do what I love to do unless things are like organized. And I know that sounds weird, but
Don't look at Marvin then.
I'm in that same situation.
oh, okay, sweet. Okay, well, good.
I get mad when everything's a mess.
Yeah, I don't blame
And I'm
you.
very vocal about it.
Yeah, by the way, Faiffy, your room is cleaner than my future.
Oh, it's a mess.
Hey, yo, it's not a self-roast.
I like things just exactly put away, and I don't know. So that's cool. You're like that. Good. So you understand.
Yes, absolutely. What is the funniest picture you have on your phone?
The funniest picture I have on my phone would be. This probably doesn't even sound that funny, but to me it was really funny. My husband was like, he just got this puppy, and he was like, he had bought this like file to trim the dog's nails down, and it's this huge file, and it just looks really, I don't know, it just looks really silly to me the way that he's like holding the pet and doing the nails, and to me, I don't know, you'd probably just have to see his face, because I don't know that the picture per se is funny, it's just like the expression that he has.
Oh yeah, that's what my mates say about me. Sometimes I do like crazy out of this world expressions, and people just laugh hysterically at them. It's like, well, his expression is absolutely priceless. But yeah, I've done many expressions like shocked, surprised, feel a bit awkward, and yeah, every time it does those kind of expressions, my mates just laugh at them. It's it's
Awesome.
it's a kind of a quirk I have.
And what'd you say after that? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm just saying that the expressions that I make is a bit of a quirk I have.
Oh gosh, I'd love to see him. Put him on here. Let's see.
Oh, I wish I could, but okay. Yeah, hold on.
You do have a lot of expression in your face.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You should be like an actor.
Okay.
Like when
In
people
fact,
can have that much expression, I think it's a talent.
yeah. In fact, I'm actually
that's
training to be an actor right now. I'm
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing like a H&C course, which is like a bridging first year university course. Next year, I'm planning to go to drama school. Mainly want to stay in Manchester, which is where I'm from. And yeah, I may want to get like a place to stay in the city centre. But yeah, it's going great for me. I just love it.
That's awesome. Good for you. Super cool.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself to be an extrovert or an introvert?
Definitely an extrovert, but I grew up feeling like I was really an introvert, but I don't know if I overcome it or if I just really was an extrovert. But yeah, I love to meet people. I love to hear their stories. I love to connect with them. So I would say I'm an extrovert.
Okay, cool. Faiffy Rmeister, is there anything you want to ask Lady Redneck?
Yeah, to be honest, I have a lot of questions. I normally ask the same questions that I use with my trusty list here.
Oh, sweet.
She has a very good list.
Well, let's hear them.
Go ahead,
I've
Faiffy.
never heard a name like your name, Faiffy. Where did it come from?
It's actually a pet name my dad gives me. It's a knockoff of
Aw,
my
that's
real
cute.
name.
It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, it kind of is. Anyways.
So, what's your question, Faiffy?
What inspires you to do music every single day?
So I'm not a journal writer. I don't like to, but I like to write down how I feel because it helps me I'm not very good about knowing how I feel sometimes. My feelings are confusing to me a lot, and so if I write them down, then it helps me kind of understand life, and quite often that'll turn into a song. So I feel like with music, it's such a big part of who I am that I don't always feel like maybe writing a song or maybe doing something else, but a lot of times it'll just be something that leads into it, writing down some of my feelings, and then it'll turn into a song, or I'll just feel like sitting down and playing the piano, and then I'll decide, let's do an online show, or maybe it'll be just the fact that I just want to connect with some of my fans, and I'm feeling lonely and they can make me feel better, or
Sorry, Carly, let's think.
What?
I said, yeah, let's do an online show. I'm like, let's Carly this thing.
Yeah, let's do it. So I don't know how to answer your question. I don't know that it's one thing that necessarily inspires me. It's just kind of part of life, so.
Great. So, what do you do in your free time?
Free time, what is that? It's interesting. I don't like to sit down. I don't like to watch TV or just relax very much. So I love to go running. I love to do yoga and things that are kind of more physical because I like lifting weights. Just because if I do, it helps me get out some stress or energy. So that's probably what I would say in my free time was just working out.
Okay. Do you have a punching bag that you just release all your anger really fast?
Do I what?
You have a sandbag or a punching bag. They just
I used to, and I've been lately, I need to get another. I did taekwondo for a while, and I'm I've either got to get a punching bag or I've got to start some kickboxing or
find someone to punch.
Yeah, or find somebody to punch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I've been feeling lately. So
great. Have you worked on any new songs lately?
Yeah, actually I have. So I've got a new song actually that comes out tomorrow, and it's one of the first Christian songs that I've written. It's called After the Rain You'll Find the Sun, and it's spelled like the Son of God. And so that was one I just wrote a couple months ago, and then I wrote one recently just about world peace because it's on everybody's mind right now, and I've been so frustrated with what's going on in the world and stuff, and it just, like I said, it helps me to write to kind of get out how I'm feeling, and so I just wrote a whole song about praying for peace. So
great.
Pray as much as we can for peace, even if you don't believe in the great Lord.
What'd you say, Faiffy?
It's best to just pray. Right now, things are out of control, and we feel we could, in a way, writing is praying. In a way, I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I like to play my instrument, so I know how you are feeling as a musician.
That's awesome.
So,
and that, right, I feel like if you write a song and it has that message, it's like a prayer. I really believe that.
So if you have to pick between skydiving, bungee jumping, or scuba diving, which one would you choose?
Oh gosh, I've been bungee jumping and I almost went skydiving. I'd probably pick skydiving just because I haven't done that one yet. Scuba diving, this is weird, but I've got this, I love to be in the water, and I always felt like I was part I love the water. But for some reason one of my greatest fears, the only way I would never want to die is probably drowning. So I've never gone scuba diving. It kind of always made me feel claustrophobic. But skydiving sounds like fun. I'd probably try that. So.
Okay, cool. Was being a music artist something you've always wanted to do, or have you thought about wanting to do other things when you were younger?
Oh, yeah. When I was younger, for a while, I wanted to be the president of the United States, and then I wanted to be a doctor, and then I wanted to be a lot of things, but music's just always what I did. So it kind of was just what I did, so I didn't really care about it. And right after college, I started a couple businesses, and they were fun, but I just felt like I'm wasting my time. I'm doing stuff I don't really love, and I needed to be doing music instead. So I'm glad to be doing music.
Great. what is the best pair of shoes you own?
Oh, my best pair of shoes?
Yeah?
So let's see. I really, really, really like shoes. Because to me it sets like the stage of your whole outfit. Like, so if your shoes are good, you just feel good. But I've got a pair of running shoes that I absolutely love. Like, they're the coolest running shoes I probably have ever had. And I'm really into those. And then I've got a pair of like, right now I've got these huge white boots, and I know like they're kind of trendy, but they're super comfortable, and I feel like they just go with any outfit. So right now, those are probably my two favorite pair of shoes.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, what were the high and low points of your career?
With my music, let's see, the high point. Well, the high point is still yet to come, I believe. I'm hoping to sing at the Opry this year. The low part of my career would probably be, let me think. Probably just when I wasn't doing music and I felt like I needed to be doing it. I don't know. I have bad days. Like everybody has. As a musician, you have days where like you're on top of the world and days when you hit rock bottom, right? Where like nobody's listening to you, nobody comes to your shows, and you're like, oh gosh, I feel like such a loser. So I mean, I think everybody has those type of days, but like as long as you just keep trying and you're doing what you really believe you're supposed to do, then I think that you're headed in the right direction. And so probably the low part for me was just when I wasn't doing what I always felt like I should be doing. So
okay, great. Have you met any interesting people along the way?
Like with the music, yes. Let me think who I would pick for that. Lots of interesting music. You know, musicians we're kind of an interesting breed anyway. I feel like we're all just like a little bit unique and kind of dance to our own drum kind of. But one of the first times that I recorded, I met this guy named Steve E10, and he'd been in some famous band like in the 70s or something. I wish I remember the name of his band. No, none of you guys would probably know it anyway, but he'd recorded and written songs for like all of these old, like the Carpenters, like all these really old groups. But he was a really unique individual, and it was really I felt like he was really discouraging towards my music, and it really motivated me. So, it's like when people like tell you no, doesn't it make you like want to go, oh yeah? So, right? Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, he was unique just because like, you know, you usually meet people and even if they don't believe in you, they're like kind of full of it. Like, yeah, you're doing great, go for it, whatever. But he was like, nah, yeah. Anyway, so it kind of made me feel more motivated. So.
Okay, great. Have you experienced any paranormal activities?
Oh my gosh. These questions. Dang, where do you come up with this? It's really interesting that you say that because now everybody's really going to think I'm crazy if I answer this. Oh my gosh.
I won't.
Can I play the
how bad can it be?
So, I feel like, because I'm really into meditating and I'm really religious and everything, I feel like I feel very intuitive, and plus I'm a mother. So I feel like the mothers, like I feel very intuitive anyway, but as far as a sixth sense, I mean, as far as a paranormal thing, this is really odd. For some reason, like, I've had light bulbs break when like, I'd be working in my office and, like, my light bulb exploded, or I'd be in a tanning bed and I've had, like, a light bulb explode, and to me, that's just kind of odd. I don't know, is that what you're looking for?
I mean, any answer will do, and it was a really great answer, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was like, it kind of freaks me out. I'm like, do I have this, like, frequency that makes, like, bulbs explode, or I don't know. Anyway, kind of weird, but...
So...
Now y'all are thinking I'm crazy, because nobody's looking at me.
Yeah.
It's okay, I had some form of a paranormal experience myself. I believe a paranormal experience happens in many forms. For me, I'm more of a dreamer. I dream about someone who has recently deceased, or I guess a couple months ago, I dreamed about my great great grandmother. My great grandmother who passed away when I was 12, and that for me, I was mad. I was grieved. I was so upset. And then a few months ago, I had a dream that she came to see me.
That's awesome.
And
I
then
totally believe that.
I had another dream where my deceased neighbor, she was also like a grandmother to me. And I was grieved. I was furious. I was like, they should have taken better care of her. But then again, it was out of my control. I was like, all right, I accept it. I saw her in my dream, I saw her and then I turned around, she was gone.
Wow.
That for me was acceptance.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really think that the next life is so much closer than we realize. And I think that a lot of the ways that we are communicated with is through dreams. So I believe that 100%. So that's really cool.
A few months back, like last June, I had a dream, or not last June or something. I had a dream about one of my old ex-girlfriends. She and I were really happy, but then she broke up with me over the phone a week before college started. My first year of college, by the way, because stuff was happening. She didn't have enough time since she was working to become a music therapist and she was working full time at a job. And I had a dream about her just showing up one day. And then back in July, around what would have been our 1 year anniversary, I got a message from her. All of a sudden, I'm just like,
dang. I feel you, mate.
Yeah, for sure. I had something kind of like that happen a little bit similar in April where, so I had this dream about a great uncle of mine, and I didn't know anything about him except I knew he'd been one of the Supreme Court members. He'd been appointed a district court for the state of Idaho, but I didn't really know anything about him. I knew when he died it was a huge deal, and the president came, and so I knew that he was a prominent figure, but I didn't even know what he had done. And so it was like the 1st or 2nd of April. I had a dream about him, and I woke up, and it was like I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I couldn't get him out of my mind. So I started reading everything I could about him, and I read that he'd actually made the decision for the ERA about against the ERA, and he'd received several death threats. But I read that he voted against it because of a constitutional law where it says so many states had to agree with it or something in order for it to become a law, and they hadn't. So it wasn't that he disagreed with the ERA. It was just that constitutionally they hadn't done all, had everything happen that they needed to. And I thought it was really weird that I woke up and had all these feelings, and I did all this research, and I thought it was really weird. But the very next day I was looking into it online again, thinking, why am I having this, right? And I read that at the time that basically the government was trying to overthrow it, and it had barely come into the news that very day, and they were fighting against it and all this other stuff, and I had no idea, and it just totally came to me, and I thought, I wonder if he came to me anyway, it's just very interesting.
Okay.
Hopefully I didn't put you on that.
No, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
Sorry.
It's fine. So, if you had to get rid of a holiday, which one would you get rid of?
A holiday to get rid of would be... Which one would I get rid of? This sounds bad, but Thanksgiving. And it's not that I'm not super grateful, because I believe gratitude is an eternal principle, and I think we all need to be grateful, and I love gratitude. But I just cooking for 3 days, and then eating and having it be over, and all of the dishes, and I just don't like eating that much anyway, that big of a meal, and I don't know, Thanksgiving.
At least you would say Halloween. I would be like, oh, you jerk.
everybody forgets that Thanksgiving exists. Even the marketing.
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, I don't mind Halloween. My issue with Halloween is the teens and the people that go out partying. And I don't mind partying either. It's just, on the night of Halloween, people just get carried away with it. And I don't mind people having fun, but again, I don't want people getting carried away. And the parties I've witnessed and the parties my mates have been to, they got carried away. So, yeah. I'm alright with Halloween in some parts, but there are some that just gets me a sort of impression, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd agree with you there.
Yeah. So, do you want to retire as an artist, or do you like to keep going for as long as you want to?
That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that, but at some point, I'm sure I probably would retire from having my name out there and putting it out on Spotify and all of that stuff. But I probably will always be creating music and just doing it because I love it. But yeah, I'm sure at some point I'll retire and just kind of be done with that. And as far as an occupation, because I do work it as a business. And so at some point I'm sure I'm going to, retire from that.
Okay, great. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, Lady Redneck, talking about your music and your life in Idaho and everything else. It was actually quite interesting and amusing.
Thanks, you guys. It was nice talking to you guys, too. I really appreciate it. So
yeah.
Thanks. It was really fun.
I appreciate having you on this podcast. We appreciate meeting you here, too.
Thanks,
yep.
Faiffy.
I think
As
you're
do
pretty
I.
damn cool.
Thank you.
And until next time, stay tuned for more.